What's poppin', boys and girls? So you probably just clicked on this video because you want to see some two-step, and I'm gonna keep it straight up with you. This isn't two-step, but I'm gonna show you how to shoot some massive flames and shit, and that's pretty cool. In today's Minecraft tutorial, I will be showing you how to add an ignition cut switch so you can make fire come out your tailpipes in your car. Alright, man. In this one, you're gonna need a momentary push button switch at that, and you're gonna need a 12-volt car relay or solenoid, and some wire, and your brain and your hands, and you could go to work. Wiring diagram. Alright, in the engine bay, 4 red and green wires in the ignition loom. Gonna cut them, put them all together. That's gonna go into the relay, coming out of the relay, go back to where they're supposed to go. Alright, then we have a plus on the battery. Gonna run from there to the switch on the relay. And from there, the negative is gonna go into the inside of the car, momentary switch. From there, into the white wire on the clutch switch, and you have yourself a job well done. Okay, so to splice into the ignition coil harness, you'll find your 4 ignition coils, and then come back to the back of the harness and make an incision. Ow, motherfucker. Well, this happens from time to time. Ouchie. Okay, well, now you have to go make your hand stop bleeding. Okay, so once you split the loom, you're gonna find 4 red and green wires, and these are the power wires to every coil, and you're just gonna snip all of them. Alright, now you're going to try to strip these guys about 1/2 inch each. Once you've stripped them about 1/2 inch, you're going to go ahead and take the 4 coming from the ECU and twist them together.
So you have a big old knot of wires, and then you're going to take the 4 coming from the ignition coils and do the same thing.
Once you have them both twisted together, you're going to grab the solenoid. Now you're going to take the black wire on the solenoid and twist it around the ones coming from the ECU. And then take the blue wire on the solenoid. Take the blue wire on the solenoid and twist it around the ones going to the ECU. Before I solder these together, I'm just gonna wrap it in some electrical tape right now, so that way I can test and make sure everything works how it should before I go and make it permanent.
Make sure that you wrap it all the way if you're going to test it out first, because you do not want these shorting out. That would be a real bad day and cause some serious problems.
Now I'm going to tap into the power straight from the battery to run to the solenoid actuator. And at least on my car, there's a little thing right here to help me tap into it. So I'm just going to take this bolt off. I'm going to splice into it with a ghetto connector because I don't have a real connector, but do as I say, not as I do, and don't use this stupid shit at home. It's just what I gotta do right now because I don't have a real connector. I'm going to run this yellow wire down through the firewall. Okay. I'm going to connect the yellow wire I ran from the battery to the yellow wire on the solenoid. So the white wire I'm going to connect to this long blue wire I have, which will run into the car. Now I need to run the blue ground wire into the car. Once you run the blue wire into the car, you're going to take off the fuse panel and then unbolt here, down there, and down there to take off the kick panel. Once you have the kick panel off, the clutch switch that engages at the very end, right back here. I'm going to take the connector off. Okay, so I have the multimeter plugged in. I grounded out the other side of the multimeter and I've set it to resistance and it'll beep when it's at 0. So the brown wire is straight to the ground and the white wire gets switched and then ground. So I'm going to tap into the white wire. Go ahead and splice into the white wire.
I'm going to strip some of it with the X-Acto knife so that, because I don't want to fully splice it.
And I'm just going to tape it off for now and I'll solder it after I test everything. Last thing I need to do is snip the blue wire one more time before it goes into the clutch switch. Alright, so I got an extension onto the blue wire to a switch. I meant to get a push button switch, but it was the wrong switch, so I'm just going to have to go like that real quick. And yeah, I'm going to start her up and see if it works. Alright, moment of truth. I'm going to start it up first and just see if it runs right. Cold start.
Yo, is this normal? It's idling super hot.
You shouldn't have done this in the first place. It's not legal, I'm sure. But don't do it. But if you were to do it, go out in the woods, away from the trees, put your clutch in, rev it, make sure your exhaust is nice and hot, hit that button, and this will happen. Oh!